salutations to invoke the blessings of our revered gurus. So it was already chanted, but it is my responsibility to do that. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Bharati Karunapatram Bharati Padabhushanam Bharati Padamarudam Bharati Tirtamashraye Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vitaragam Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tattvagnam Vidushekara Bharatim. This is Sri Vidushekara Bharati Swamiji, our salutations. And a very simple meaning says, learned and humble, free of passion, wise, and the knower of Vedanta Tattva. Now, it is important for us to know Sri Vidushekara Bharati Swami. We just offered a prayer to him. Who is he? What was his childhood like? Was he like any one of us? What was his commitment to the chosen path? So this is the intent. So children, a very warm welcome, namaste to all of you joining from many parts of the world. Let us see what I have as a central theme of this presentation. This is the picture of Sannidhanam, which I think we are all now very familiar. The central theme that I have here is, child is the father of man. We are all children here. We have come together to learn more about Sannidhanam. What does it mean? It implies that a grown-up man is the product of his habits, behavior, discipline, commitment during his younger growing up days. Now, this is setting the tone for all of us as children here. Like they say, generally, how the tree will be. Generally, how the tree will be is known from its sapling. The way the seed that was sown sprouts when watered and cared for. So each one of you here as a child, you are taken care of by your parents, by your teacher, even your friends influence you, and you become something today. And that's something we wanted to be good for the society in a very dharmic path. And the central theme is here is that child is the father of man. Now, let us try to understand what is the right conduct or the qualifications to be a sannyasi. You have gone through this in the past, but I'm just going to in a very simple manner, try to summarize this. For example, tomorrow, if you have to be in your school, a class leader or a captain of a school sports team, there will be a certain set of qualifications that you need to have. And imagine 1200 plus years ago, Bhagavad Padaru had established this by establishing the four Peethams, and he wrote Matamnaya, which is a code of conduct expected of sannyasis overseeing the four Peethams. What was the expectation? Not to be selfish, no family, and hence is not interested in worldly pleasures, study of Vedanta, and he has no desires. However, getting into a little bit more details with dharma or righteous living. So a sannyasi is already there. Sannyasi will get many opportunities to propagate by practicing what he preaches. And the conduct and hence the qualifications, children, as expected of a sannyasi is, number one, pure character. I mean, so pure that you can see literally through the guru. He is so compassionate, he is so committed, he is so dedicated. He takes extremely good care of you. We call it Jitendriyaha, number two. Basically, he has conquered his senses. Our senses, the eye, nose, ears, the five senses are all externally oriented. And it goes behind so many things. But he has conquered his senses and he is very much in his own self. Studied Vedas and Vedangas, a deep understanding of Shastras, sannyasa directly from brahmacharya. So as you know, not from grihastha or marriage, but directly from brahmacharya and dharma prachara. So we already have heard about Vijaya Yatra, where the gurus travel around the country. The understanding is it is about to preach dharma. So in the previous sessions, we learnt about our lineage, the principles, how a guru influences his disciples' life, the characteristics of an ideal student. Now we need to know how Sri Vidushekara Bharati Swamiji was, is, and will be. Let us see. But before I go there, I just want to set the context. There is this Shishya Sweekara. This Shishya Sweekara is accepting, or the, let me put it this way, Mahasannidhanam, Sri Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamiji, anointing his successor designate by looking at the qualifications and doing an extreme scrutiny, children. He has already done that. So when he did that on January 23rd, 2015, so approximately about 9.5 years ago, he continuing the unbroken Guru Shishya lineage that stretches directly back to Adi Shankaracharya. This 36th Jagat Guru, that is, as I mentioned, Mahasannidhanam, he anointed his successor designate. It was a traditional ceremony. The Jagat Guru initiated Brahmachari Sri Kuppa Venkateshwara Prasada Sharma into sannyasa and bestowed upon him the Yoga Patta of, or the monastic name of Sri Vidushekara Bharati. For convenience in this presentation, I will say Sannidhanam, and only later I will use the name, and wherever it is appropriate. Now imagine this event was witnessed by almost 40,000 people at the Sringeri location in the sacred town, and probably around the world people watched, and there were several dignitaries from all walks of life who attended again personally. Now, this tells you the importance of the event, and I'm sure you would have come across certain events like this, children, when it could be a school function, it could be an award ceremony where so many people come together, but this is of a different variety and flavor. The most important thing, I just wanted to put a bullet here that says sannyasa is not given based on studying on reference to the horoscope. It is based on the qualifications of the disciple. Now, having said that, how did it start with his family? Because we all know the child is first influenced in his home. So, this is where the child, the early seeds are sown, and it has happened to each one of you. And we will see how he started, where it started. Did it start with the family? Who was his family? Let's go there. First of all, I want to say it is an illustrious family background. When you look at the family name, it is Kuppa. And the grandfather, that is the father's father, is Vedamurti Brahma Sri Ramagopala Vajpayee. And the father was the second son, and it is Sri Kuppa Shiva Subramanya Avadhani. And the mother, you see Sannidhanam here with his parents from the Purvashrama, Mother Srimati Sita Nagalakshmi. Now, they hailed from Guntur district, Tenali Taluk, Anantavaram Grama, Kuppa as the family place. Some of you might suddenly say, oh, I know this place, because some of you may hail from either that district or somewhere close by. The mother's mother was from Krishna district in Andhra Pradesh. And I'm sure many of us are familiar with this. The family had studied Veda Shastra, and son had even studied Jyotishya, astrology Shastras. The father was employed at TTD. What is that? Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. He was employed there in the Veda Patashala to teach Veda Pata as a teacher. Now, you all know how Tirumala, Tirupati, they are the sacred towns in India, particularly in the state of Andhra Pradesh. And there is, he hails from such a holy town. Let us see His parents, that you see here in the picture, they had three children, two sons and one daughter. The first one was a son, an engineer by profession, settled in Hyderabad, had done some Vedadhyayana. Second was a daughter, married and settled in America with children. Third is Kuppa Venkateshwara Prasada Sharma. So when you look at it, it looks like any one of our family. It is very, very normal, very, very, very deep rooted in Vedadhyayana, a very illustrious family background. However, now we took a quick sneak peek into his family. So now the stage was set for the young Kuppa Venkateshwara Prasada Sharma to start his life. So how did that happen? Let's have a quick look at his biography. He was firmly entrenched in Vedadhyayana. If you see, he was born on a very auspicious day. Like they say, the stars, the planets, the entire ecosystem will align when a very, very divine person is born on earth. Imagine this, he was born on a very auspicious Naga Panchami day where Nagappa is worshipped. It was a Saturday, 24th July 1993. And in Hindu calendar, it goes as Sri Mukha Nama Samvatsara, Shravana Shuddha, Panchami Shanivara. And in Uttara Nakshatra, in the holy town, as I said, of Tirupati. Few days after his birth, his father was transferred to Hyderabad as the principal of TTD Hyderabad. So the entire family relocated to Hyderabad. And the boy had formal education till first standard. What happened after that? At age 5, his Brahmopadesha or the Upanayana Samskara was performed. I'm sure many of you have gone through it at that kind of an age. He was initiated into Veda studies by his grandfather. I already told you what is the grandfather's background. And then imagine the next 8 to 10 years, till the age of 13, 14, 15, his grandfather and his father taught him Vedas, Vedadhyayana Pata, which is the Samhita part, and it was Krishna Yajurveda was completed, and he mastered it up to Karma Pata. You will see later his ability to grasp right from a young age was amazing. His ability to retain what he had grasped was just amazing. He had fantastic memory. And I'm sure many of you also have similar qualities. Now, he made many trips to Sringeri, like many of you have done. And if you have not done, I'm sure you will be doing it in the future. He traveled to Sringeri with his parents, once in 2006, again in 2008, and the last time in 2009. Why I say last time? Because 2009 was the real where it happened, which you will see on the next slide. So for the first time in 2006, he had the darshan of Sannidhanam, and he was just inspired by his presence. It had a profound impact. You already had heard in the previous session how Sannidhanam was a magnetic personality, such a divine personality. So he was attracted. So let us see, when he was attracted, what happened. But before we go there, even we as children would have demonstrated a special interest or a skill, like maybe reciting shloka, that would have captured the attention of our parents, teachers, guru. And we feel so proud, and everybody feels so proud about it. Now let us see the boy, what was so special. Before I go there, a very memorable incident, number one, that happened at the age of 5. He was playing like most of us do with a toy car in front of the house. Gee, he was probably making that sound and playing with that. His father and a visitor, they were discussing where they should put this boy into school. He just overheard and remarked, I just want to do Vedadhyayana only. No need for a formal school. And when did he say this? This was on another auspicious day, Shankranti festival day. Like I told you, when a divine person makes certain commitment to his own life, the divine planet, the planets, the stars, everything aligns. And that is how this also aligned, happening on a Shankranti festival day. So let us see how our young boy's Sringeri life started. So this is the Sringeri life. Now, this all happened under the aegis of Sri Sannidhanam. That is, Sri Sannidhanam, sorry, Sri Maha was continuously keeping a watch on the progress of this young boy. And it was, this was the revered guru who had already impressed him. So during one of the Sringeri trips, not the 2009 one, but the earlier one, there was an opportunity for the boy to learn Veda Pata there, but his mother expressed he should complete the exam successfully, like a true mother. What did he do? He expressed, "No, ma, this is an excellent opportunity to learn in an auspicious environment." But he was still young. Obviously, with his family, he goes back to Hyderabad. But now comes 2009. During his visit to Sringeri, he directly expressed to Mahasannidhanam his desire to study Shastras at his feet. That spark of intelligence, sincerity, that was so impressive. Mahasannidhanam readily took him under his wings, immediate. So imagine that happened, and the next 6, 7, 8 years, the Shastra Adhyayana, the studies of Shastra, happened at Sringeri. How? Jagadguru Sri Mahasannidhanam himself gave him the guidance to master in Sanskrit. Sringeri Vidwan Sri Tangirala Shivakumar Sharma gave him Sanskrit poetry and literature teachings. Vedamurti Brahma Sri Shivakumar Sharma for Sahitya studies. Vedamurti Brahma Sri Krishnaraja Bhatt for Vyakarana, grammar. And again, Mahasannidhanam himself, a little later, about 2 years later, in 2011, he started giving him Tarka, Mimamsa, basic logic, and the Shastra. And it went on like this. Now we have come to 2015. So this is almost about 6 years later. His parents come to Sringeri to see their son, and of course, take the, be in the holy place of Sringeri. What happened was, they extended an invitation regarding their first son's marriage. At that time, Mahasannidhanam informed them that he had, in his mind, selected their son for the most sacred Shishya Sweekara, and they were so happy, elated, they immediately gave their acceptance. Now, if you see, very interestingly, I was having a discussion with some very, very revered gurus and acharyas who had come from Sringeri with Sringeri background. You know what what the person told me was, what typically takes maybe 3 months for others to grasp, our young boy Sri Vidush, I want to just say Sannidhanam, or I want to say Kuppa Venkateshwara Prasada Sharma, or now, in the future, obviously, we are going to say Sri Kishora Bharati Swamiji. He used to learn what others learned in 3 months. He used to learn it in just 15 days. An example was Amarakosha. He said it's an ancient Sanskrit text. It is the basis of Sanskrit language. It is a collection of words with similar meanings and how they have to be used when you construct your sentences. And it helps in the study of literature. And imagine the grasping power. And most important, as I said, the retention in the memory. He had just sparkled, and everybody was so happy to see that. Now, at this time, I'm going to talk about another memorable incident, number 2. Here, just to say, this incident is something where it establishes what our young boy wanted in his life. That is clarity of thoughts. So, children, it is very important for us also, at the young age that we are, to have that kind of a clarity of thought, what I want to do, how I want to do, and what is my commitment. He had already communicated to his mother, Amma, I am disinterested in samsara, dispassionate, and my interest is in sannyasa marga only. And you know what? He did not even know that he would one day be selected as the successor designate. So as I said, the planets aligned. And this is something, when we as children, when we commit and we really show our interest, our parents, our teachers, even our friends and our family will help us to get there. Okay. Now, this is a Anugraha Bhashana. What is an Anugraha Bhashana? It's a benedictory speech. A benedictory speech talks about an importance of spirituality and its benefits. It is delivered by a guru. Now, as you can see in this picture, this is the Mahasannidhanam. He was delivering the Anugraha Bhashana, and this was happening on the day when the main event was happening. And it's a blessing to everyone who is assembled there. What did he say? He said his Paramaguru, you have already learned, was Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Swami. It was his name that Mahasannidhanam wanted to give to the successor designate, the next in line. Basically, as a great reverence to his Paramaguru. It was an identical name, he thought, but he thought it would be inappropriate to call him by the same name Chandra. So what he did was, he found a synonym in Sanskrit where Chandra means, which is moon. It is, he picked the word Vidhu, and to imply Chandrasekhara Bharati, the name he bestowed was Sri Vidhushekara Bharati. How beautifully the Mahaguru or Mahasannidhanam has thought about, and it came to him. And I'm sure it would have come to him as a what you call as a prerana, where he would have been impelled by goddess Sharada to actually do this. And what a beautiful name he gave to his successor designate. And that is also, we know that his name means moon. Now, what did Sannidhanam say during the Anugraha Bhashana? Now, I won't say anything. You will see this. He actually praised the goddess and the guru. And look at how he does this. First of all, he said, we as human beings are the foremost. It's Shastra says that. So, children, all of us here in this call today, in this session, we are all human beings, and that is the foremost. Shastras give a lot of importance to that. Next, he said, we must make all efforts to fulfill the purpose of our lives, which is to fulfill, which is fulfilled by attaining moksha. Now, moksha can mean many things. I will keep it simple in this presentation. I want to know who I really am so that I can be happy. That is you can take as a simple definition. Then he says this needs the grace of God and great souls. So even to get that kind of a thing, you have to have the grace of God. So one must have accumulated good deeds over many lifetimes. And it's very difficult to obtain the grace of a great soul. And I'm telling you, children, all of us who have logged in today, I see 41 participants. We have been blessed by God and great souls and we must have done good deeds to hear about the lineage, Guru Parampara, Mahasannidhanam, Sannidhanam. And just 25, 30 years ago, Sannidhanam was your age and he was playing around just like you. But see how the growth has happened. Now, one more thing. He reiterated Bhagavad Pada Shankaracharya's words. It is very important to be born as a human being, a strong resolve to attain moksha, which I have already talked, and you have to be graced by a great soul, and that I have already talked. So basically, he said, I have obtained the refuge of a great soul, that is Mahasannidhanam, and I have the blessings of Goddess Sharada, and a great soul we already talked about. Now, what it showed here is that he has completely surrendered to the God, in this case, Goddess Sharada. And the Guru. He was very, very humble. And most importantly, he showed his faith and trust in his guru, which I think is very important. So for you, it is about how you can trust and put that faith in your teachers, in your parents who are going to guide you in your life. Now, let us see what, now I want to say what Sri Vidushekara Bharati Swamiji said in the same Anugraha Bhashana. But what was his commitment? His commitment was, he said, first of all, again, I wish to lead a spiritual life and fulfill the purpose of my life, which is to have that realization. He said, I wish to learn the Shastras only under the Jagat Guru of Sringeri. And it happened. He would only wish. Why? Why? Because Mahasannidhanam wished only for his progress. That was very important. Now, he said, I cannot take credit for any accomplishments. It is only due to Mahasannidhanam's blessings. I came to Sringeri only to study Vedas. Whatever has happened after that is Guru's blessings. And the Jagat Guru has fully blessed me with sannyasa. This is what he said. And when he told me, meaning Mahasannidhanam told me, he would accept me as a successor designate, his joy was boundless. And why? Because he belonged then to the direct lineage of Sri Bhagavad Pada, Guru Parampara. That is exactly what we have been talking about for almost 5-6 weeks now. Then but still Sannidhanam said, Gurugale, you are placing such a huge responsibility on me. Do I have the capacity to fulfill that responsibility? And the Jagat Guru was so confident because he was impelled by Goddess Sharada. So he just said, you don't have to worry, my son. You have my complete blessings. Hence, you will be able to carry out your responsibility. What a level of reassurance, what a level of confidence he must have given to the young sannyasi here. Now, with his blessings, Sannidhanam said, I will carry out my responsibilities toward the development of the Mata, and you will hear about it later. He said, my dear audience, you have come here in large numbers. You have enormous faith in this Jagat Guru and the lineage. The devotion to the Guru takes us to the highest of the realms. I offer my prayers at the lotus feet of Jagat Guru. So this is how, children, we have to be. We have to show our commitment in every aspect of our life to our parents and our teachers. You are already showing it. How? By attending these sessions, listening intently, and learning. And you are also answering the questions. I went through a few of the previous sessions. I was so happy to see that you are answering all the questions. So you are learning about our Guru Parampara. Okay. So now, what is there for us as children? Let us see it as a few key takeaways from the Anugraha Bhashana. First of all, blessed to be born as a human being. I have already mentioned that. Human being should have the goal to attain moksha, realization. And I told you it basically means to know who we really are. That is an ultimate truth. And this is Advaita Vedanta we are talking about. And to remain in a happy state always. And the grace of God is very essential, as also the lineage of the great parampara. How blessed we are to be in this parampara. And then the study of the scriptures, the Shastras, in a proper manner under the guidance of a Guru is evident. Blessings of the Guru will help to help us to take over any responsibility. Tomorrow you are given and you have to do a new project. You know that blessings of the Guru will give you the strength. Nothing, but very importantly, it is very interesting. The next bullet says, nothing one can take credit for except discharge duty as per Guru's instructions. Because you have accepted the Guru, you are saying that the Guru is giving you the right guidance. You allow him to tell you what you are supposed to do. It is only for your good that he is telling you what you need to do, and then you don't have to take any credit. But be grateful, show your gratitude, and things will work. Last, constant devotion and prayers at the lotus feet of Guru. So, children, can we all agree and commit to lead a good life like our gurus? I'm sure the answer is yes. So now we are coming to the Shishya Sweekara again. It's a milestone event. It is something that, so many people were looking forward to. I already told you it was witnessed by people around the world and everything. However, Mahasannidhanam, after presiding over the Peetham for 25 years, okay, so he came to he took over as the chief in 1989. So roughly 25 years later, in 2015, actually, it was the Silver Jubilee ceremony. And on January 4th, there was a Pallaki Utsava. So that is basically carrying the palanquin and all that, the goddess there. After the event, Mahasannidhanam went into the temple, sat down to meditate in front of goddess Sharadamba, who at that point gave him the prerana, impelled him to appoint this boy into sannyasa. He announced it during the Anugraha Bhashana. What is interesting is, I had read somewhere or somebody told me, even couple of days before that, if somebody had asked him, who are you going to appoint as your next? Maybe he would have said, I don't know. Why? Because he knew Goddess Sharadamba would show the way. That was his commitment to the goddess. And he was always confident about that. So, if you see, this is what came to Mahasannidhanam's mind to choose his successor designate. And this happened approximately 20 days prior to the main event. Now, this, after the announcement and to the audience or the public, now this is now going to lead slowly up to the big event, which is on 23rd January 2015, which is a Friday. But don't we, before children, before any big event, also prepare for the same? Let's suppose that tomorrow, or let's say there is an announcement in the school that, you children are being taken to, let's say, Disney World. You have to bring that communication to your parents. You all have to sit down and decide. You have to agree that you are allowed, you are allowed to go because there are teachers there and this is a fun event. But at the same time, there are a lot of things that you have to prepare. So I will go into some details, but this is only details for you to know. But it is, just to keep that in the back of your mind. Now, just see, on the previous day, 22nd January, Magha Shuddha Bidige, Thursday, he prepared by keeping his mind calm. He was not getting restless. That is an important lesson for us children, because when we are going on an important event, we should be calm. When we are calm and when we are not getting restless, we can think very clearly and it will give us clarity of thought. So what he did was, he completed his rituals. He took darshan of Sri Sri Mahasannidhanam, took his blessings. He came to the north bank of Tunga River, and there was Veda chanting that was going on. He came to Goddess Sharada Devi's darshan, took the darshan, then went to all the temples. I won't go through each one of them, but these are beautiful temples with wonderful idols that he has gone through. There are temples of Goddess. There are temples of the previous gurus. He visited all, took their blessings. He then came to the other side, the south bank of the river, and to receive the darshan of Sri Sri Mahasannidhanam. Then he also paid his obeisance, or to seek blessings of again the previous gurus there. He did sankalpa. Sankalpa is making a commitment that he will stay pure, and all the other qualities that we talked about. He did his Gayatri Mantra Japa, Rudra Mantra Japa, Viraja Homa. Basically, this Viraja Homa, Atma me Shuddhyantam, Jyotiraham Viraja Vipapma Bhuyasam. Basically saying, let the body, mind get rid of all impurities and be absolutely pure. He also did something called Ashta Shraddha. Eight, eight aspects were covered. A Shraddha is basically to disengage, detach from, devas, rishis. Even the sannyasi detaches at that time from his biological parents. the Pitru, the Matru, father, mother, and even his own self. And he got deeply involved in meditation. All of this is done to keep our mind clean and not have any attachments. At the very beginning, you had heard the word dispassionate. This is all very important for that, and to remain detached. So here he was welcoming the next day, 23rd January. And he was doing everything that was expected of him, because that is expected of him. And then on 23rd, it looks a lot of text here, but I will go through it in a simple way. He completed all his morning ablutions. He prostrated to his mother to seek blessings. Very important. In the previous slides, you had seen maybe the young boy in white clothes. He discarded his white brahmachari clothes. Then he did away with his shika, which is a tuft of hair at the back. Then the Yagnopavita, the thread, and he chants the Praisha mantra, Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyaha Matha Swaha. Basically saying, all jivas, I'm giving you Abhaya, meaning I will take care of you. That is the confidence he gives. Then to the fresh sannyasi, Mahasannidhanam gave Kati Sutra, which is basically a sacred thread around the waist, a loin cloth, a saffron monastic robes, which you see in the picture here, danda, which you see here, that Sannidhanam is holding, and kamandala, which is this small pitcher like thing or a jug that you see right next to him. And then to the successor designate, he gives many mantras. Pranava mantra. What is the Yajurveda Mahavakya? Aham Brahmasmi. He taught him that, and the Mahavakya of the other three Vedas also. Then he stands facing east. Younger Swamiji stands facing north while Vedas are being chanted. Why this is, what is the importance of this? Everything works like they say, clockwork. Everything beautifully done as per our tradition. Then Mahasannidhanam proceeds, in a boat, while the successor designate, that is Sannidhanam, he walked, and then the priest gave him the Paryanka Shaucha, which is basically cleansing him, and they all proceed to the Sharadamba temple. They are both seated there in the Peethams. Shri placed the Saligrama, it's a very sacred stone, on the junior Swamiji's head, followed by Shodashopachara Puja, and he does his arti to him and prostrated to him. So the Mahasannidhanam offers prostration to the Sannidhanam, to the younger Swamiji, and that is not big, not by age. He gives that respect for the position because it is in the lineage. And then junior Swamiji, that is Sannidhanam, does everything back to Mahasannidhanam, and you already know the name as Sri Kishora Bharati. Now let us see, everything happened. People involved were working for only one purpose to be fulfilled. So you can see many people here, they're all working for only one purpose. Now what happened? The big event, many dignitaries were invited. Their presence provides a very pious, spiritual, divine festival-like atmosphere. So on that big day, the Shukla Paksha Tritiya Friday, Sri Sannidhanam takes over as the successor designate at a tender age of 22, which is, very soon, or maybe in about 10 years' time or 8 years' time, many of you will be there. The Shishya Sweekara was performed without any deviations. It happened in the presence of some revered gurus. Why? Because they all have faith and devotion in the parampara. First of all, Sri Shankara Bharati Swamiji of Yadutare Yoganandeshwara Mutt, the Guruji that we all follow. Sri Purushottama Bharati Swamiji of Shivaganga Mutt. Sri Madhava Sharma Swami of Hebbur Mutt. Sri Sachidananda Saraswati Swamiji, Dharmapuri, Andhra Pradesh. Sri Kalahastindra Swamiji of Vishwakarma Mata, and they all bestowed their best blessings upon the successor designate with, abundance of prayers. It was all done to create that beautiful divine atmosphere. He was crowned as the successor designate, and the whole world was watching this. Now, let us see. Now, It has been almost, he's in the 10th year, so 9 years completed in the 10th year. Sannidhanam, in his role, what he has been doing. But before that, just 2 weeks ago, children, just 2 weeks ago, August 9th, was his 32nd birthday. But in our parampara, we call it as Vardhanti. So it was celebrated. What happened there? Interestingly, I told you earlier, he was born on a Naga Panchami day. And in the Sringeri tradition, it marks the start of Navaratri celebrations. Navaratri, as you know, is the 9-day Hindu festival. Goddess Durga defeated Mahishasura. You all know the story. And imagine this. I told you again, the entire planetary system, ecosystem aligns. Such a auspicious day he was born. Series of dharmic activities and initiatives were announced, but most important, he talked about digital connect. He talks about bridging common man with Peetham activities. He talked about children as a focus to learn and appreciate dharmic life, and four, care for the environment. All of this are very forward looking, new initiatives in some manner, but I will give a flavor to that a little later. And he launched many new books for both online and offline access. And what were some of the key messages? He again talked about human birth. He once again said dharmic life is very relevant even in today's world. We say that the world has changed. There are so many things that are happening. He said we should involve ourselves fully with faith. And then he said, to do good work, one needs to put a lot of effort, and we should not regress, but move forward without losing our heart. And he said, we have to stay always compliant with Sri Jagadguru Adi Shankara Bhagavat Padacharya's teachings in all walks of life to receive his grace. So, what did he say? He said, please, everyone, install Sri Adi Shankaracharya's idol or picture at home. And he said, you should learn to chant Adi Shankaracharya's compositions, shlokas, for cleansing our mind. And children, you're all doing it. You're doing such beautiful Saundarya Lahari, Kalyana Vrishti Sava, so many other things. And all of this are excellent things that you have done. We should all commit to these things. Let us look at what he did in this 10 years, very briefly. He was always devoutly assisting his guru in handling the affairs of the mutt. Remember, he had always said that I will commit myself to the administration. I heard again from the other person, he spends time in admin activities that is expected of him. He, on the spot, he makes inspections, corrects mistakes if any, makes improvement or fine tunes process, including maybe the way somebody chants shlokas, the pronunciation, etc., etc. He undertakes tours, blessing the devotees and spreading the tenets of Sanatana Dharma. You already know this is the Kishora Bharati Mahotsava. This is to commemorate the 50th year of Sri Bharati Tirtha Swami Sannyasa Sweekara, because that was 1974. But Sannidhanam is actively right in the front, leading, directing, guiding, and conducting the various dharmic activities impacting the various sections of the society, not only Vedic scholars, not only learned people, but even to school students. You are the example. And there have been cultural events, lecture series across the country. He has also been so conscious about the environment. To increase the green cover, he did the planting of 50,000 saplings. Rural events, water conservation, health programs, e-libraries, everything. Now look at the beauty of it. He has mastery, eloquence in Sanskrit, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, and Hindi languages, 5 languages. What I was told was he learned all these languages within a span of 1 to 2 years, which is just it is very difficult for us to understand. But that is his mastery. That is, he is the epitome of Sri Sharada Mata. Now, another very important thing, when he came to Sringeri, he knew probably very little of the Sanskrit alphabets. But under the teachings of Mahasannidhanam and other teachers, with his enormous memory and grasping power, he learned Sanskrit so easily. Remember in the last session, the madam talked about Ganapati Vidvan Vidvat Goshti. This is an assemblage of all scholars. Today, Sannidhanam manages this on his own, not just giving simple meanings of words, but he does a deep dive among scholarly people into the tattva and the principles. Are we not so blessed to be knowing about him? One more thing I want to say. I have not mentioned English language. Sannidhanam does not speak in English in any public discourses. But people have told that when they go with manuscripts to him about a book that is being published, and they give the manuscripts, offer it to him, and say, Sannidhanam, please go through this. You know, in very quickly he points out simple grammatical mistakes. He gives his expertise in no time. Where did this come from? Purva Janma Punya, Sharda Mata's blessings, and his own tapas and capabilities. Tapas Bala, Tapobala. So, in a short period, he has endeared himself to the devotees by his affable persona and grace. Don't you agree, students, children? By just listening to this for the last 40 minutes or so, you also feel that he is a loving character. I want to tell you what has been my own experience. I call it my three blessings. Most recent, April 2023, about a year and 3 months ago, made a trip to Sringeri and stayed there for 2 days. His divine presence at a homa, we just saw it. And then as he stepped out of the Sharada temple, we got an opportunity to offer our Dirghadanda Namaskara prostrations and be blessed by his Krupa Kataksha, which is such a compassionate view for his disciples. We were not too many, we were only 4 or 5 people. But when he looked at us, we could feel that presence, that love in our heart. Prior to that, May 2022, our Vedanta Parivara, under our Vedanta teacher, we made a visit to Bangalore Shankara Mata for his darshan. We each were introduced to him, and he blessed us to progress in our spiritual path with full commitment and Guru Bhakti. He spent time with us, and this is another thing about Sannidhanam. No matter how long a day, how tired he might be, he will not, okay, even take his eyes off the disciple or the Shishyas who have come to prostrate and to take his blessings. He will bless them completely, and it is something which is which is a real blessing for us. The last thing I want to mention is about, again, in May 2022, Sannidhanam graced a public function, very well attended by thousands, to offer Sri Adi Shankara Saundarya Lahari Shlokas. It was an overcast day, very, very cloudy. He said, right here, I will offer my prayers to Mother that there be no rains till this function is over, so it does not inconvenience you, Bhaktas. Can you believe the function was successfully completed? We all took our prasadams, and many even got into the cars. We had left the Maidan, the area. Lo behold, it started to pour like, very heavy. But most of us, or many of us, were not at all inconvenienced. This speaks of his tapobala. When he gives a commitment, it is a commitment no matter what. So finally, the stage is beautifully set for a very glorious future. Aham Brahmasmi was a unit that was started at Sringeri Matha. He is now leading the activities of Aham Brahmasmi. I told you, lecture series, many things that the Sringeri Math is doing for the disciples around the country. But he has given complete freedom to the team to leverage social media, to use digital access, all for the good. So, what do I want to say in here? He is a seer with modern contemporary thinking, but firmly rooted in our Shastras. He's not going to even, even 1 degree he will not move, because Shastras is absolutely important for Sri Sannidhanam. So what Sannidhanam I told you at the beginning was in childhood. What he became as an adult, which is during his brahmacharya days, and later on, after he became this, he assumed, he took the sannyasatva and he became the successor designate. And now as a guru and as a successor designate, is making him more and more divine. That only means good things for us who are his shishyas and who will follow him with our greatest respects and regards. With that, I want to say, that brings us all to the end of the presentation. I would hand over the mic to Shri Nasim Prasad ji, if you would like to just quickly take the children through the questions which I'm going to bring up. Or I'll also be happy to read out
Yes, sir.
the
You can
questions.
facilitate that, sir. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So one time to test our knowledge. And children, please unmute and answer. And I'll be very happy to, I'll feel happy that, this has actually reached you. The very first question: do you know what is Sannidhanam's place of birth? And what is it famous for in India and around the world too? Where was he born? You can unmute, and I think Narsim Prasad ji will facilitate the unmuting, and you can answer the question.
Yeah, they can unmute, sir. You can
Okay.
unmute and answer.
That was his family. He hailed from that family. I mean, he hailed from that town. That it means his parents. But he was born in a very, very, very important city, which is very well known in India, around the world.
Sir, Tirupati.
Fantastic. So correct. Tirupati is where we go and take our blessings from Lord Venkateshwara, Lord Srinivasa. It's the city with 7 hills. Okay, next. What was Sri Sannidhanam's earlier name?
Is it Kuppa Sri Venkatesh Shastri?
Anybody else? You're almost there. Anybody else who would like to say the full correct name?
Kuppa Venkateshwara Prasada.
Absolutely right. Sri Kuppa Venkateshwara Prasada Sharma. Very beautiful. I'm so happy to hear that. Third, at age 5, what did he want to study? If you remember, he was playing with a toy car. What did he want to study?
Vedadhyana.
Beautiful, beautiful. You just made the perfect answer, and I felt very happy listening to that. Now, at what age did Sri Sannidhanam take over as the successor designate?
22.
Which year was that?
2015.
Wonderful. Perfect answer. Perfect answer. Next question. What is the significance of his name as explained by his guru?
Mahasannidhanam took the name of Chandrasekhara Bharati Swamiji, and he took, instead of Chandra, he took Vidhu, which means moon. And for Shekhara, he took the same name, so it became Vidhu Shekhara Bharati.
Wonderful. For the 5 questions answered by each one of you, you have already invoked Sannidhanam's blessings. That is so beautiful. Next, how is our life purpose fulfilled as a human being? You can give it just a simple one-word answer.
Moksha.
Vareva. So beautiful. So did I explain that moksha means to, what did I say? What did I explain as moksha means?
To know ourselves.
Beautiful. And what does that, by knowing yourself, what does it make you? It makes you be happy always. Ananda. Okay. Next question. On what day was Sannidhanam born? And what is its significance in Sringeri?
Nagapanchami day.
Beautiful. What about the date? So anybody remembers the actual date?
It is the
24th of July 1993.
Oh, bah. See, you have the same kind of memory. You should be so proud. 24th July 1993, Naga Panchami Day, and its in significance is in Sringeri, it marks the start of Navaratri celebrations. Okay? Navaratri we all celebrate at home, right? Very, very nice. I'm happy to hear that. Now, next, what is the next question? Let us see. Was Guru of Yedatare Yoganandeshwaram Matha present at Sri Sannidhanam Shishya Sweekara?
yes.
Yes, our Guru who has been guiding us and he is really blessing us every single time. He was there blessing Sannidhanam, partaking in the event. Okay. When was Sannidhanam's Vardhanti? What was his key message about Jagadguru Adi Shankara? So when was his Vardhanti?
24th July 1993.
But you're right. So in Hindu calendar, it is this time it was on a particular day. About 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that. Anybody remembers?
9th August.
Sorry?
9th August.
Perfect. August 9th, about 2 weeks ago, it was his Vardhanti. That was celebrated on that day. But what was his key message about Jagadguru Adi Shankara?
You have to keep a photo of Adi Shankara in your Shankaracharya in your house, and also you have to learn all the stotras of him so that you can purify your mind.
Wonderful. Now, if you are going to do that, you have already invoked abundant blessings of our Guru Parampara. So happy to hear that. Also to learn Sri Adi Shankaracharya's teachings whenever and wherever possible. Okay. Next. What is the Mahotsava called commemorating the 50th year of Mahasannidhanam's life?
Swarna Mahotsav.
Srivarna Bharati Mahotsav. Very nice. Very nice. You were there. Now, why can we say that Sri Sannidhanam is consciously concerned about the environment? Anybody remembers what he did?
Sir, by environment, you mean the mutt?
The environment, the overall environment, our world, our, the entire climatic things, environment, etc.
The answer is in the chat box.
The answer is in the chat
Planted
box.
50,000 saplings.
Amazing, amazing, absolutely right. 50,000 saplings. He also is paying a lot of attention to water conservation, and that is a beautiful thing. Now, last, I have to ask a personal question, which is how many times do you remember I have taken Sannidhanam's blessings that I talked
3.
about? 3 times. And what was the significance of the last one?
Sir, so actually there was a function. There was actually a function, but it was very cloudy and overcast. So everyone was predicting that it will rain and all. But Sannidhanam, he told that he'll pray to the mother and he will make sure that it won't rain. And the whole function went well. And you collected your prasadas. Everyone was getting in the car and going. And just when you left from the place, then it started raining very heavily.
Absolutely. You are 100% right in what I narrated to you. It was just unbelievable for any one of us to really believe, but that is exactly what happened. And that speaks about the Tapobala. So the presentation is over. The questions are over. I just want to put one slide there, which is just to talks about, some key quotes. What he talks about here is, this is in a recent thing he talked about. He says deep and comprehensive study of our dharma and samskriti is essential. It is a foundation that should be instilled from a young age, and you are all doing that. many people possess some knowledge, half knowledge, I would say, of our dharma, but it is often superficial and it can be easily shaken. This suggests that the study and understanding lacks depth. So, what happens? Because of the superficial understanding, when anyone argues even slightly about our dharma against, they begin to feel that the other person is right and starts doubting the correctness of our own scriptures. Instead, we should strive hard and acquire a profound, unwavering understanding of our scriptures. That is only possible through a deep study that we can develop an unshakable faith. With such knowledge, there can be no opposition. Regardless of the number of adversaries, our conviction remains steadfast. Another one, stick to your Hindu dharma, come what may. Your ancestors have done so much tyaga, sacrifice to protect it. Is it not your duty to continue protecting our dharma, children?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you. Those were just two very interesting quotes. Children, thank you very much. And I hand over the mic back to Sri Nasim Prasad ji and then Rama madam. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ.
Wonderful. The students' interactions that just reflects how attentive they were and how interesting the session was. Thank you for that, sir. It was a nice session indeed. Very much informative that we got to know about Mahasannidhanam. Thank you for that. Maybe I'll pause for a minute. I'll keep this session open if anybody has anything to ask or anything that they want to share with us. Feel free to unmute and you can share.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, please.
Sir, has any you can say any acharya or anyone have they ever completed more than 50 years of sannyasi?
So, right now we are doing 50 years of which we discussed of Sri Bharati Tirtha Mahasannidhanam, right? So he took sannyasa. He became a brahmachari, and that was in the year 1974. Okay, then sorry, Nasim Prasad ji, you were saying something.
It was sannyasatva in that year.
Correct. 1989, he became the head and he became the main guru. And now we are in 2024, so that is almost 50 years there.
Yeah,
And
probably he meant from any other mutt, different like Dvaita of teaching, any other philosophy. So it is Vishweshwara Tirtha Mahaswamiji. He was there in the sannyas ashrama for more than 75 years.
75 years, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Prasanna ji,
Yes.
do you know of any student, very ardent student of Sannidhanam, direct student of Sannidhanam, who has left entire professional course in Texas and has gone to Sringeri and is studying directly under Sannidhanam's guidance? Anyone?
Yes, very recently. I mean, and to be very honest, I think you introduced the person to me, and I would be very happy to hear a little bit more about him from you in this. I think it was Lalitaditya Gannavaram Shri.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, perfect.
Yes.
Anyone who has a knowledge about this great person and the great Guru Shishya Parampara, like how it is going on? Anyone in the audience?
I'm sure the children would like to hear. Even we would be interested. We would be happy to
had
hear
an
it.
exceedingly good academic and professional career in aerospace in the USA, in the Texas area. And then he left everything, lock, stock, and barrel, and has offered himself Sharanagati to Sannidhanam Sri Vidhushekara Bharati Mahaswamiji, Parama Pujya Vidhushekara Bharati Mahaswamiji. And he has excelled in all fields, having direct instruction from Sannidhanam. That is the kind of compassion that he has shown. I'm sure a lot of people would have heard of him in the US area. Thank you.
That is very, very, very nice to know. Thanks for sharing that.
Sir, he was doing Ashtavadanam and things like that. He was doing it in Andhra Pradesh. He had come here to do such things. Ashtavadanam.
Very nice to know. Did you get a chance to?
No, sir. You just read about him, Googled him when we heard about him a little about that. Like what other Simha sir was telling about his aerospace thing, and we had I had listened to an interview of him. He talking to the Indian community children about Indian culture and Shastras.
Okay, very nice, very nice.
You should listen to his talk on Guru Parampara. I'm sure a lot of you might have heard about the greatness of Guru Parampara. He has done it in English. And I don't know if anyone of you have heard.
No, sir. We will find out. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Dhanyavada. Back to you, Narsim Prasad ji.
Yeah. Probably if we are all lucky enough, we can always have a small session with him. We will try.
Those who are happy, those who are lucky will come to Bangalore on the October the 26th of 2024, where Sri Sannidhanam is going to preside over the Kalyana Vrishti Abhiyana called Om Namah Shivaya. Anyone wants to talk about it?
Ma'am, do you want to?
There is going to be a gathering of 200,000 children, parents, mothers, and men in that audience.
Reciting all the shlokas and offering it to the Guru there. Yes.
Lotus feet of Sannidhanam. Yes. I think we are planning to teach them to the students overseas also.
Part of stage 3, ma'am. Part of stage 3 to begin with Shiva Nakshatra Mala Stotra and then with other shlokas.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
I think let's conclude the session. It was indeed a very wonderful session and very actively and attentively participated by all the students who have responded. So good, we could see good response today, and coming Monday we have one more wonderful session, understanding Advaita Vedanta through stories. We have invited a very prominent and a well-known doctor from Bangalore. He's a director and neurosurgeon in Narayana Hridayalaya named Dr. Timmappa Hegde. He is obliged to share his time with us, and he'll be narrating a lot of good stories through which we can understand what Advaita Vedanta is. So we hope all of you will definitely be participating. We request spread this message across to your family. It's a family event where we want through children, we want the entire family to be part of this series. So don't miss the session on coming Monday. It is 26th. With that said, thank you everyone for being so actively participated in this session, and thank you, sir, for having facilitated this. It was wonderful. Let's conclude with Shanti Mantra. Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmana va prakrite swabhavat karomi yadhyat sakalam parasmai Srimannarayanayi samarpayami. Harihi Om Tat Sat.
Namaskara. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ.
Namaste. Hari Om. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
Hari Om.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om ji, Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.